Hi everyone, I'm Mike. Together with my friend Ben, we'd like to welcome to our new podcast, Reclining Pair. There's no doubt that the last few years have left a lot of people struggling in their headspace, with COVID and just the general state of the world right now. A lot of people are struggling with their mental health or just feeling lonely or isolated. So we're going to bring you TV reviews, quizzes, a few stories, bits of daft stuff. I know that if you're not feeling great in your mind, sometimes the most you can handle is just watching a bit of TV, so it's going to be very accessible to everybody. The aim is also to start a little Twitter community where you can come along and talk to us about the shows we discuss, or recommend shows we might have missed. Just get involved, maybe make a friend or two. Thanks for listening, hope you enjoy it. Happy days.
Right.
So you went to York this weekend?
Yes. I had it planned for a while. I got a mate that moved up there, and I went up there from a stag do about 5 years ago.
Oh yeah.
And we kept saying, oh, we'll have to come back. We'll have to go back up there. And with stuff gets in the way and COVID and all that, it just never materialised.
Yeah.
So I ended up going back up there this Saturday. Just gone. Just a good night out. I mean, like, nights are all about the company you're with. But you go into the centre of York.
Yeah.
And there used to be some saying that they've got a pub for every day of the year. 365 pubs in and around the centre. And so you come out of a pub.
Yeah.
You get into the street and there's just pubs. It's just heaving. It's almost like the nights out used to have sort of 20 years ago, where lots of people were out, everyone had money, that sort of thing. There's just lots and lots of people out. It's a beautiful, beautiful city as well. So.
Oh, it's lovely. Yeah, we probably went about 5 years ago. But there was a place called the Falcon Tap.
Yeah.
And it was brilliant.
Right.
But yeah, York's great.
It is. Good night out. We were right next to the race course, because last time I went up there, I went to the races. And you think about going to the races and you think, oh, fucking hell, you're going to have to dress up dead smart and stuff, and it's going to cost a fortune. Yeah. But they've got like this locals paddock where it was 12 quid each to get in, but you could take all your own ale in. You know what I mean? So you stand at York races, and you feel like you're at an occasion, and we'll sort of tried our best not to look like we were covered in shit, and put shirts, put a shirt on and some trousers and stuff. But then you just standing watching the racing, and you've got your bags of cans with you and stuff, so you're not constantly going to a bar that's charging like 6-7 quid a pint. So. Yeah.
Well, I mean, when you think about whenever you see footage or photographs of ladies' day at the races and stuff, everyone's in ball gowns and suits, and they're all lying around on the back covered in sick by about 2 o'clock.
Yeah.
They're all fucked, and you think, what was the point in making any kind of effort to get dressed up?
Yeah, the problem we had, they had a couple of sniffer dogs on the gate, and one of my mates, he still smokes resin, like from back in the 90s. So he had these, but he put it all in his socks. So he had these dogs.
Did they say, can we see your fingers, sir?
So he had these. Yeah. He had these dogs sniffing around the ankles because they knew it was a familiar smell, but they hadn't got a fucking clue what it was, But yeah.
It'd been better off in one of his pockets, put a load of dog biscuits and say, "Oh, I always get this when we go away. It's me Borneo." Bet they've never heard of that one at customs.
How was Stanbrook Abbey?
Oh, it was great. I mean, there's I can't remember what the village is called.
Powick, isn't it?
Is it Bowick?
Powick.
Yeah,
well, oh no,
absolutely.
No, sorry, you got Powick. You come through Powick, and then it's a little village called Callow End.
That's it, Callow End. Yeah. Absolutely, fuck all to do in Callow End.
Oh yeah.
2 pubs, a church, a village hall. There's a little thing that looked a bit like a petting zoo with goats and chickens, but the actual place. I'm assuming a lot of people come because they're going to go into the Malverns and go walking and stuff, but for us, just 2 days away doing absolutely fuck all. It was great. We were wandering around it on the second day, because I think the abbey itself was built in 1780 or something like that. But once you've checked in, you walk through into the actual abbey. All the rooms that you stay in are I think they're the nuns' quarters. So, and the doors are about 6 inches thick oak, because I'm assuming the nuns wanted to keep Randy Abbots out. So you go walking around, and it's absolutely vast. And we were there's no one stopping you going anywhere as well. You're wandering down a corridor, and you end up in a room that's just full of bottles of disinfectant and mops and stuff, and you think, have I wandered off tour?
Yeah, I know what you mean, because at National Trust properties and stuff, there's always like a little rope or a chain, or there's a really interesting looking stairwell, isn't there? And it says, "Don't come up here, you fucking nosy bastard."
Yeah, there's none of that. We went in this room. It said the nuns' quarters or the nuns' room or something. So we're in there and looking round it, and we're saying, "Oh, you can tell they've done this up a bit. It's got modern touches and stuff, and it's got all these booths in." It's got sinks and everything. They didn't have sinks back then. Obviously, these have been put in since. So we stood there taking photographs, and we wandered down to the next room, and it said the abbot's room or something. And we went in, and it was exactly the same as the nuns' one, but there were urinals all down one wall. And we realised we'd just been in the ladies' toilets. just stood taking photographs in the ladies' loo. So we came out of there. There was no one in there, thank fuck. So we came out of there and had a good laugh about it. And then Karen stopped me getting one of my bucket list things, which was they had a suit of armour, and I managed to get the helmet off the dummy.
Oh yeah,
inches away from my head. And then Karen came from round the corner and saw what I was trying to do and intervened.
It's a shame you hadn't put that on before you wandered into the women's toilets taking photographs.
Someone coming out of the cubicle.
Explaining that to the local PC.
Seeing the ghost of a 400-year-old monk wearing a puffer jacket, carrying a mobile phone.
It's beautiful, Malvern, though. It's like, for a little town, it's got so many churches and historic buildings, but they made their wealth out of the water there, Malvern spring water.
Oh, it's the springs, isn't it?
Yeah, because apparently that's the Queen would only drink Malvern water throughout most of her life. So must
be good then.
Yeah, yeah, she has it. But then again, look what happened to her. So
Yeah, it's no age, is it? 98 or whatever she was.
So that's York and Malvern wrapped up pretty much.
Yep, York and Malvern would recommend both to anybody. I think everyone's been to York, I think.
Yes.
Right, now on to the main event, TV. So the first thing that we've watched has been North Sea Connection on BBC iPlayer, which is, what would you call it, a crime thriller?
I call it, it's a thriller. It's a Irish Scandinavian hybrid crossover, isn't it?
Yeah, it starts off kind of slow burn, doesn't it? And then by the end of the first episode, it's just all gone to shit.
Yeah, I remember thinking it was a bit like the film The Guard with Brendan Gleeson, but without the humour. Yeah. If you think about it, it's got that same sort of setup. You're in West Ireland. There's, in a small sort of town, there's a big sort of drugs operation going on, but it involves like a local policeman, and you see, so you got the local policeman, you got the criminals involved, and then you got the locals as well, sort of coming in, haven't you? You've got that sort of dynamic.
The main family that are involved first get into it. They've got a little fishing operation, haven't they? They've got a little boat, and they bring in shellfish and stuff for local restaurants.
Yeah,
and the occasional bag of booze and cigs. A bit of low-level smuggling, isn't it? And it kind of escalates. They get involved with drugs without actually meaning to themselves, and they're just very ordinary people, aren't they? It's about ordinary people that get put in circumstances that they're not prepared for.
Yeah, and I think one of the things that makes it work is the villains in it, the dealers and stuff. They have to be believable, and when they enter the scene, you have to be sort of almost scared and wary for the main characters, and you do get that You do get that often.
Oh yeah, yeah,
But I
definitely.
think my only problem with it was that some of the main, some of the main characters, you definitely feel an affiliation to. But I was never sure whether I liked the main female lead in it, the blonde woman. You know, it
Oh
was
yeah,
difficult to warm to her because you thought if she was an associate or friend in real life, you'd become pretty fucking irritated with her quite quickly. Do you know what I mean?
yeah. Well, I always thought that she'd become. I got the impression she'd become a bit more spiky than she might have been naturally, because her brother has always been a fucking liability, and he's been
Yeah,
bailed
yeah.
out by their parents dozens of times, whereas she's just gone out in the rain and in the fucking whatever on this boat.
Ah, yeah, yeah.
And
See that?
she's
Yeah.
had it a bit tougher than the golden boy who's never actually done anything. But yeah, she is quite abrasive, isn't she?
Yeah, very. And you know, I think there's 6 episodes, and I remember thinking at the end of the third one, I thought, shall I watch the last three? And I was debating whether to sort of leave it there, but then I realised that it had got me. It was drawing me in. There was no way that I couldn't watch the
Yeah.
last three.
Yeah, the mate in the caravan. There's a character in a caravan in it who's a kind of a friend of the fishing families, and he goes out on the boats occasionally, doesn't he? You wouldn't trust him with anything. He's the idiot that everybody knows an idiot in life, don't they? But you kind of keep them at arm's length because there's always the possibility that they are going to get you killed at some point.
Yeah, but they're also great fun, eh?
Oh, terrific fun, yeah. But at the end of the fun, you put it back in a box
Yeah,
and you go, right, now you fuck off and don't come anywhere near my actual life where things can get broken.
yeah, yeah. He's
But yeah, he nearly gets the lot of them killed, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's a very good character, and to look at as well. I think that's one of the things that makes it different to sort of other crime thrillers. It's because it's
Yeah.
set in West Island. It's like watching the Banshees of Inisherin, isn't it, or something?
Oh, yeah, it's just
like
beautiful.
you really get that feeling of remoteness as well, and just beautiful scenery to look at.
And the moment she mentioned the copper, the local copper, eventually a Swedish detective comes into it, doesn't she? Running a sort of a joint Irish Swedish investigation.
Yeah.
But the Irish copper, the small town Irish copper, he's kind of, as it starts to unravel what's going on, you can sort of see that his world's come off its axis, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it's a reality that he's unprepared for as well, and he just kind of hopes it's going to go away for a while, doesn't he?
It sort of smashes everything into bits, doesn't it? But
Yeah.
yeah, do you know what? If they brought out a second series, I'd definitely have to watch it.
Yeah, well, by the end of the first one, they've actually gone quite big with it, haven't they? It's it started off a boat and they're bringing in a few drugs or whatever, and by the end of the series, it's as big as you think, fucking hell, it's going to be like Irish Breaking Bad or something.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, so that's called
North Sea Connection, and that's on iPlayer, isn't it?
Yeah, very good.
Colin From Accounts. Now, Colin From Accounts, the main lead in it, the man, he was in. It's an Australian comedy set in Sydney, and he was in one. I used to live in Australia for a little bit, and he was in a comedy over there called Upper Middle Bogan, which was about a very posh. He was married to a very posh lady, who found out that she'd got another family on her mum's side. Mum had an affair and various children and stuff like this, and she'd got another family that she didn't know about, and she found out randomly because of like a blood test at a hospital. And this family were what Australians know as bogans, which are, I suppose, they're equivalent to chavs, but they're a little bit different. Yeah, they're
it's chavvy,
sort
isn't
of. They're not necessarily poor, but they live. If they've got money, they live in. It's very sort of tacky, and they're all into motor cars and motorbikes and stuff. And it was seriously really funny. The husband in that particular program plays the main male lead in Colin From Accounts, which starts off. He's going down the road in his car, minding his own business, and a woman that you've already been introduced to passes his car, and as she walks past, she just flashes a tit at him, like just out of nowhere, and he ends up hitting a dog. And then
That's it. I'm in. Good night, everyone.
And that's it. 8 episodes.
Ben Higton, Guardian.
And what's great about it is it's very easy to watch. It's very funny. I think, like, me and Mike have spoke before about supposed comedies that we've watched, and you find yourself never really laughing out loud and being.
Yeah, but you settle for that if they make you feel good.
There's a good storyline around it. Yeah, that's.
Yeah.
But this, to me, I watched this with my wife, and this is just laugh out loud funny. Now, one of the things that makes it great is the on-stream chemistry between the main characters, the male lead and the female lead. And after doing a bit of research, I found out that they're actually together in real life. I don't know if you knew.
Yeah, are they?
Because there was a scene in the kitchen, just to bring it around. He runs over a dog. He blames her because she flashed a tit at him. And anyway, they end up getting the dog fixed at the vet's. But, she ends up sort of not having anywhere to stay because she can't have a dog stay at her flat. So she moves in for a little bit. And they're having a scene in the kitchen where it's so, like, the chemistry and the funniness and the banter between them so natural. I thought, fucking hell, man, that's good. And then Karen said, I've just looked it up. They're together in real life. And it was like, I see.
Yeah.
I see. And it works. It works. Like, I think I'm 3 or 4 in of 8. But if you want to just watch something funny without being too taxed.
Yeah, there's no darkness to it at all, is there? And they're only half an hour long, so you can fit them in here and there. And it's the thing with the dog that's kind of brought them together. It's a bit of a spin on the almost staying together for the kids thing, isn't it? Except for the incident in the car, they've sort of immediately created this situation that's binding them at the moment. And at the start, they kind of can't wait to get away from each other, but they're enjoying the glue now, aren't they? They're sort of both settling into the fact that they're at least going to be mates, if not anything else.
Yeah, because they're still trying to carry on single lives. He goes on that date, doesn't he? And then he brings the date home. But
she's great, wasn't she? I thought, that sometimes you're watching something and there's a character, they're only in it for 2 minutes, and you think, I'm going to look up everything that they've ever done and watch it because they're just fucking brilliant.
But yeah, she was really good. But the girl's mum in it as well. Sort of, this is what makes good comedies, isn't it? You've got to have strong leads in the first place, but you've got to have a very good quality, funny supporting cast. And her mother's very good in it as well.
Yeah. She's the classic flirty mother, isn't she?
Yeah, and it's set in Sydney, and he runs like one of these sort of craft breweries,
microbrewery. Yeah,
and it sort of comes up a few times that there's this sort of battle, isn't there, in socially between new style craft beers and stuff, and actually going. Yeah, going out and being clean or sort of sticking to your spit and sawdust sort of place from the 80s that smells of impending violence, But yeah, I really liked it.
Yeah, I think we're on 4 or 5 now. Do you know how many there is? It feels like there should be about 6. Well, feels like that kind of thing.
Should be about 6, shouldn't it? But like I noticed with that thing we were watching, The Dry, a lot of things now seem to be up to about 8. There's 8 of them, yeah.
Yeah. Well, like Colin From Accounts, it came to my attention. There was every time you pick your phone up, there's something to click on, and it was an article in one of the papers saying, finally a comedy with a real female character, and I clicked on it, and it was saying, all characters that you see in things these days are either, I don't know a lot about this, something like a pixie dream characters or disasters, different types of women in comedies.
Yeah. Oh, like Fleabag's like a disaster of a woman sort of thing.
Yeah, I guess that would be a disaster, or there's the kind of flitty sort of pixie fantasy thing. But I mean, I didn't notice that she was anything new. I thought that she felt like a character that you might have seen, say, someone like Ashley Jensen play, like out of Extras.
Oh yeah.
Or a character that might turn up in one of Sharon Horgan's things.
Yeah.
She'd do her. So I didn't think I was watching anything new, but they're all absolutely great in it.
Yeah, and he's really funny as well, isn't he?
Yeah, he's brilliant. He's got there's a few little comments made that are sort of pointing towards, show me you're in the middle of a very deep midlife crisis without saying that you're in the middle of a midlife crisis. Like, He's got a punch bag. What else has he got?
He's got a unicycle. That's the big one.
He's got a fucking unicycle, yeah.
She's like, how long have you been single? And he's like, yeah, so how long have you had that unicycle for? That was the real measure of how long he's been single.
Yeah, but anyway, that's called Colin From Accounts,
Yeah.
and it's all on BBC iPlayer.
Okay, so Rain Dog, we're on an iPlayer run, aren't we? Because this is on iPlayer as well, isn't it?
It is, yeah. It's HBO originally. But this is the opposite side of the coin to Colin From Accounts, isn't it?
Yeah, so this is Daisy May Cooper, which I am a huge fan of Daisy May Cooper. I loved All of This Country with her brother who played Curtin. And I really liked the second comedy she did was one called Am I Being Unreasonable?
Yeah.
Which was it was very dark, but also funny. Some good supporting characters around her. And I really like that. And this is Rain Dogs. This is her and her daughter struggling in the streets of London, and she's wrapped up. Her life's sort of wrapped up with a guy that's just come out of prison. There's no sort of romantic connotations between them, is there? But they just seem very good friends that sort of love and hate each other in equal measure.
Yeah, I don't think they actually go into the history in the first series. Maybe they'll come into it in the second series, but I don't think they go into it at any point how they met and how they became so close. Because I mean, he's gay, isn't he?
Yeah.
I think the first time you're introduced to him, he's in a toilet cubicle with the hole in the wall. So he's kind of, and he comes from what you would call good stock, doesn't he? He's got a wealthy family, and
really wealthy,
who are ashamed of him, sort of borderline aristocracy, aren't they?
Yeah, is it Selby his name? It's not Selby, is it?
Yeah, Selby.
Selby, yeah. Oh, yeah. And if you took him on his own, took him out, you could take him out, Rain Dogs, almost sort of follow him. You know, he could have his own show, couldn't he? He's that sort of stronger character, isn't he?
Oh, God, yeah. Yeah, I mean, I looked him up afterwards, and he's done fucking loads of stuff. Considering I didn't recognise him, because I'm pretty good with faces, you know, lousy at most things, but I can pick a face out of someone who's been in somewhere for 30 seconds, 10 years ago or something. But yeah, he's done loads of stuff. That's the first thing I've seen him in, and I was dead impressed. How far through it have you got?
So last night I watched number 4, which again...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think...
Was that the Halloween party?
Which is Halloween party, yeah.
Yeah, so that sets the tone for the rest of the series, that. It kind of... Okay. I liked that point because I wasn't sure about the first few, where it had one foot in trying to be a comedy and the other foot in being, you know, quite a dark drama. And by episode 4, it takes a shift, I thought. I thought it goes very dark. And it kind of stays that way for the rest of it, and it works better as a drama than it did as a comedy. Yeah,
because there was quite funny little bits in the first 3, but not enough to call it a comedy. And then in 4, there's nothing funny about it at all, is there? It's like a living...
Oh, no, it's just you realise how absolutely fucking toxic the relationship is between them.
But it's a strange one, isn't it? Because the first 3 episodes are set sort of in and around hovels in London, in shitholes, and then suddenly they get a chance to move out to the country, and they're almost... It does seem...
Yeah, they're in this lovely country pile, aren't they?
Yeah.
You know, you think, because he's a borderline alcoholic and he's gambling, and she is an alcoholic, she's not drinking.
Yeah.
But he's... gambling everything away, isn't he? And he gets pissed and he gets really, aggressive and vindictive and stuff. Up until that 4th episode, you kind of think it's all on him, and she's sort of the good guy and he's the bad guy. And then there's a couple of bits in that 4th episode where you see that she's really got it in her to be fucking vindictive as well. Like when she takes a knife to one of his records, doesn't she? And she absolutely knows what that will do later on when he goes to play it at this party. It's, obviously his favourite record.
But she tries on a Halloween outfit and he's cut one of the legs off, hasn't he?
Yeah.
So she has to cut the other one off.
They're a bit like the Twits.
Yeah.
Roald Dahl's The Twits,
I think I'll definitely carry on watching it, but I did find that 4th episode tough because it was, like you say, that relationship between them was so toxic that you when the episode finished, I can't say that I walked away feeling pretty good about myself.
No. Well, that's the worst one.
Right.
You felt by the end of that 4th episode that you'd been privy to something that you weren't supposed to have seen.
Yeah.
It almost felt private, this horrible moment between them. You think, fucking hell, I shouldn't have been watching that. And it doesn't go there again, but it does set it on the rest of the series as more of a drama, and like I say, I think it worked better.
Yeah.
But yeah, stick with it anyway. It's very good. If people out there can handle something a bit darker, it's definitely worth a go.
Yeah,
So Rain Dogs.
That one.
That's that one. That makes it quiz time, I reckon.
Does it? Is it quiz time?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
You haven't added the boiling water to these cups yet.
No, of course I haven't.
Just the image of you sitting there drinking Cupasoups in a shed.
Yeah, I've just had a big dinner. I've got six cups lined up, ready to be filled with, heavy Cupasoups. I definitely. Is it a taste test thing? I've not got to drink all six, have I?
It's a taste. Yeah, it's a race. Have you got a kettle there?
I've got a kettle primed. I can give it a switch and boil it. You can edit this bit later, can't you? Because people don't want to.
Yeah, I'll get this out.
Literally don't want to listen to a kettle boiling. Do you remember when the Olympics was on? Everyone was watching the Olympics about 10 years ago.
Yeah.
I used to like having it on with the sound down, especially when the swimming was on, because it felt like I had pets in the corner of the room. Do you know what I mean? Loved it, just swimming, just that total blue screen for hours on end with things moving around in it. Should I boil the kettle then?
Yeah, boil the kettle.
And then pour it in all six?
Yeah, pour it in all six. Each one's got a colour on it, hasn't it?
Each cup has got a mystery Cupasoup in, hasn't it? And a
post-it note.
And a post. They're all sitting on their post-it notes with a relevant colour. So I'm going to go and boil the kettle.
Cool.
It's boiling now. I did struggle to find 6 mugs, to be honest. God knows where they were. We're doing sorting all the kitchen out at the minute, so it was tough to find the 6 mugs. Yeah.
So how long, once you can hear the water boiling in your kettle, how long does that boiling go on for before it automatically switches off? Because some kettles, I find they go on too long, and I feel like I'm wasting electricity.
Yeah, but then you have a good look at the kettle, and you realise that the lid's not properly down, don't you? And you think that's why it's over boiling. You know what I mean? But I do take risks. I find I take risks with my kettle that I wouldn't usually take in life. I'm always filling the kettle way above maximum and boiling.
Oh yeah, I do, especially when I'm making pasta.
Yeah, and I think
boiling the kettle twice. Fuck that. You fill it right up to the fucking. Right, it's so high you can't get the lid on.
That's it. Right, well, do I need a spoon as well?
Yeah, you probably need something to stir them up with, like a spoon or a biro or a spanner or something.
Right, we're pouring.
Oh, this is fucking gold, this. I can hear the pouring.
Yeah. Come on, tell me I've got enough for all 6.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, he's doing it from a height now.
I've not got enough for all 6.
Oh, tell you what, we're going to have a fucking knockout second half after this. Oh, did you not have enough water?
I'll tell you what that is. That's my own fault for boasting about how far I fill the kettle up. That's karma, that is. Giving it the big boast.
How many have you got left to fill?
Like 2. I can be stirring the others, though. So are you going to tell me what's going to happen?
Essentially, I've got my quiz wheel again. People will be listening to this thinking, again? Well, I should add that we have actually recorded one previous episode of this, but it just didn't fucking work.
Yeah,
because I'm a stupid bastard.
We only did 9 hours, didn't we?
Yeah, we're about an hour and 20 minutes of us just fucking talking shit and doing quizzes, and I didn't record it properly. But Yeah, so I've got the quiz wheel again, which all the quiz wheel does is, because you will be required to taste all 6 soups, it'll just decide which order we do it in.
Wow. Oh, okay. Oh, so I am actually going to be drinking all 6 Cupasoups.
Not all 6, but you'll be tasting all 6.
Oh, right. Okay.
And just for legal purposes, can you confirm that they were all sealed when they arrived at yours?
Yeah, those packages you sent down in the post, I mean, it did remind me of the parcels that you saw in North Sea Connection, them dragging out the sea of crystal men.
Oh,
Like, if at any point someone had come round and looked through my back patio doors and seen these huge silvery parcels, you know, the questions would be asked.
Honestly, officer, it's pea and ham.
Have you just given me an answer?
Oh, no, I had to think then. Red herring. That's not a flavour either. Ben's just filling the last cups. Second boil of the
kettle. And we're in. I'm topping up. I'm topping up. Oh, God. I must say, one of them seems very unappetising. See, I'm not into them. My wife's definitely into Cupasoups, but she's from Smethwick, so she could tell what they were even before I'd opened the parcel. We're in, and we're stirred, and we're on.
We might have a bonus question at the end, and see if you can guess which one I had 2 of the same flavour of in under an hour, and spent 24 hours farting like a police horse.
So let's just explain the visual of Mike's Wheel of Fortune, or is it a spinning disc?
This episode's quiz is called "He's Not Ainsley, He's My Brother."
And so in the middle of Mike's Wheel of Fortune is a beautiful picture of Ainsley. Ainsley Harriet. Is it Ainsley Harriet?
It is.
Yeah, he's got a very unnatural look to his eyes. I think some added googling may have gone on there.
It's all the soup he eats.
Is that what I'm going to look at the end of this?
Well, probably. I mean, we all know Ainsley Harriet is one of the country's favourite, most beloved TV chefs and personalities, but you probably didn't know he's one of the world's leading authorities on soup.
Oh, I've got a good fact for you. That Karen thinks that when she was a school child going to school on the bus in Smethwick, she was passed a Ribena by Rusty Lee.
Thinks, or can this be confirmed?
That's what she thinks. And then we looked it up, and Rusty Lee did spend some time in that part of Birmingham in that era. So
I thought you were going to say it was on a Wikipedia page. Has anyone tried contacting or approaching Rusty's people?
Is that aren't we reviewing a drama called Rusty's People later in the evening?
Rusty's People.
Right. Which one first?
Let me get me soup. Where's my soup questions? Right, are we ready? Should I give him a spin?
Yeah.
First up is green.
Green, right. So I've just got to guess.
Well, I'm going to give you some questions. Firstly, can you comment on its appearance?
A mixture of hot mud and Chinese curry sauce.
Ooh. Oh, I wonder if there's a clue in the colour of it somewhere. What about the nose on it, the aroma? I just had that Ben's enjoying this particular soup out of a lovely Cadbury's mini eggs mug. Yeah, the nose, the smell of it.
Again, there's a certain herb, or there's a certain...
Herb or a spice?
Yeah, that's the word I was looking for. There's a spice in there that I can't quite identify. It could be coriander, but I don't think so. I'm veering towards some sort of Chinese spice.
Are there any visible lumps in it? Or chunks?
There's definitely an element of green. I don't know what that is. No, it's quite smooth actually. There's definitely particles of vegetable, but it's generally quite smooth.
All right, go ahead and have a taste then.
Oh, yeah, that's generally quite unpleasant.
It's not the face of a man happy in his work that I'm looking at the moment. So my next question would be, would you change anything about it?
I'd make it, if I could change it, I'd make it actually taste like Chinese shop curry sauce, because I'm a big fan of that.
What sort of occasion might you serve it at? Oh, he's going in for a second sip.
No, the second one's better. I don't know. I remember doing this with white ciders, thinking I was going to get them all right, but I got every single fucking one wrong. So perhaps my take.
Even Pulse.
Yeah, everyone. Like I was saying that the top end white ciders was the Frosty Jacks, and stuff like that. Yeah, I don't. Yeah, I can't put my finger on that one. I'm just still going with some sort of Chinese curry sauce.
What sort of occasion might you serve that at, do you think?
The sort of occasion, perhaps, a ship captain's farewell, something like that, or
like a last meal on the Titanic kind of thing.
Yeah, or a lorry driver's lunch. I don't know. I'm a bit baffled by that.
It might be a good flask soup.
Yeah, but a winter.
I can tell you're not digging it. The last question is, did you enjoy it? I don't think.
What is it?
No. Well, I'll tell you at the end. I'll tell you which ones you got right.
Oh, yes, keeping me in suspense.
Or do you want to do them as we do?
Yeah,
them?
go on.
All right, we'll do that. What was it, Green? That was mulligatawny.
What's that?
Mulligatawny is traditionally a beef curry soup.
Oh, right. Yeah.
But the Ainsley one is vegetarian or vegan. So, see, the thing I thought when I had that was that all it's missing is something that's a bit sort of yeasty to make it taste like it's beef flavour. So I thought if you stirred a spoonful of Marmite into it, I thought it'd probably fix it.
Is it so it's not actually got any sort of meat extract? It's missing something, isn't it? It's missing something.
I thought it just tastes like veg gravy granules with a teaspoon of curry sauce stirred in. I thought. Well, I think I'm going to give you that because you got half. You got curry, Chinese, but you still got curry.
Not nice. That
well
one.
done.
Not nice.
Well, I'll pass all this on to Ainsley afterwards.
Oh, has he made all these soups?
Well, some he's made, some he hasn't. But he'd know what's what because he's the man.
He is.
Right. What next? Red.
Oh, red. Oh, this is more like it. We're talking. It looks like, I'd say, a pot noodle. It looks like a chicken and mushroom pot noodle.
Hold some up in the spoon.
Oh, hang on. I think I've gone for orange. Did you have an orange?
Yes. I was just thinking.
Got it. One. Red's over here. Oh, I'm just going to go for this.
Let's do the questions first. Appearance.
It looks like chicken soup.
And what sort of aroma are you getting?
Yeah, that's a chicken Cupasoup, I think.
Go on then. Flavour profile. Have a taste.
Yeah, again, it looks the part, smells the part, and then when you taste it, it feels like it needs some chicken stirred into it.
Does that not give you a clue that perhaps it might not be chicken?
Oh.
If you were to put chicken far from your mind, and
I added lobster
stop fixating on chicken.
It'd be lobster soup. The clues that you're giving me, I believe it could be just straight vegetable.
Whoa, what might you pair it with?
What do you mean? What do you might pair it with?
Like something to dip into it.
Oh, bread and butter, I think.
Classic.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that could do something to it.
What would you change about it apart from chicken or lobster?
Yeah, it needs it's got quite sort of a bland, sort of cardboardy taste. Do you know what I mean? It's just lacking. I mean, if this is one of Ainsley's creations, I'm going to need to strike up a strongly worded email to him immediately.
Can I just check for the purposes of the podcast, you did give all these mugs a rinse, didn't you, before you...
No, I just got them out the rabbit hutch. It's all right, isn't it?
What occasion might you serve it?
Weddings.
Weddings, nice. And did you enjoy it?
No, actually, to be honest, bonfire night. This could go down
Ooh,
well. That.
bonfire night.
Yeah. I'd happily have a mug of this on bonfire night.
You could dip a toffee apple into it.
You'd have to have like a cider either side of it, but
it's actually vegetable chowder.
What's a chowder?
It's a type of soup.
What's a soup from a chowder? I've always asked.
I don't know.
I've always been asked this question.
I think it's just a heavy soup, isn't it? It's a thicker soup, I think.
Is it?
I think so.
It makes you think of the word dense, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think it's probably a heavier soup with cream added, because you get like clam chowder and corn
clam
chowder.
Chowder.
Clam chowder.
Nah, come on, that's the best band name you've ever heard in your life. Clam chowder. Where are you going on Friday? I'm going to watch Clam Chowder.
Yeah, so I've given you that. Two for two so far. I mean, I know I'm being a bit generous, but it's not bad going.
Okay.
Right. Bring on the wheel.
What if we hit the same colour? I'm going to drink it again, have I?
No, yellow.
Oh, I saw a yellow somewhere. Ah, yes. This one.
Now then, appearance.
Green. Like someone's liquidised Baron Greenback.
What's the nose on it? What's the aroma?
Oh, smells good. Smells like a creamy, I don't know, could be a creamy broccoli or something like that.
Ooh, go on, have a taste then.
Right. Do you know, this is the most appetising one so far.
Could all go to hell.
Oh, yeah, that's good. That's dreams in it. That's green dreams in a cup.
What might you pair that with? What might you dip into it?
Oh, some sort of pastry cheese twist.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like you get up the Lidl.
Yeah.
In the generous bakery section.
Yeah.
Anything you change about it?
Nothing. That's, I'm going to actually drink that.
Oh, well.
That is nice.
Well, you've got a few more to go yet. Let's not get ahead of ourselves.
Nice.
What occasion might you serve that?
A child's graduation ceremony.
And we don't need to ask whether you've enjoyed it, because you clearly have.
Yeah. What is it? Tell me what it is.
Well, what would you say it was?
I don't know. I said broccoli,
what
but
sort
I think
of
that's
broccoli
wrong.
soup do you get generally? What might you've seen broccoli soup that exists out there? Broccoli and
cauliflower.
No. Have you had soup before? Have you seen it in the shops?
I'm not a massive soupy. I eat chicken soup, and that's probably about it, really.
I'm going to give you half then for it. But it's broccoli and Stilton.
Oh, that's why it's so good.
Classic soup.
Fucking hell.
It's got cheese in it.
Man, is that a packet Cupasoup?
Yeah, that's it's one of Ainsley's as well.
Fucking hell, that's good.
You forgive him for the first
I can taste
two.
it now. I can taste the Stilton. Bastard. Gutted.
What have we had? Green, red and yellow. Oh, purple.
Oh, yeah. Is that purple? Yeah.
Appearance?
Like yellowy and smooth. Looks like chicken soup.
Any kind of meat that you don't know what it is.
What? Have I said that about all of them?
You say it tastes like chicken. And is chicken soup the default if you don't know what it is? It's all just chicken soup.
Oh, definitely. I remember having, frog's legs, camel. They all sort of taste like chicken, don't they? And now, when I smell it, all I can smell is sweet corn.
Oh, no. You're quite off the mark there.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I probably wouldn't be spoiling much to tell you that it is a vegetable-based soup. But that's just to stop you thinking about chicken, basically. Go on, have a taste.
Oh, it's got croutons in it.
That's the first of tonight's soup to feature croutons.
Just sort of a bland vegetable soup. I could drink it, but It's like after you've had the broccoli and Stilton, what?
Oh, it's ruined you for all other soups.
It's destroyed everything else, really.
Okay, well, I don't think we need to bother with pairings, or would you change anything if you haven't got a
Uh,
definitive answer?
Flat and bland, but I feel like I'm being a bit unfair to it. But
Would you like to pick a vegetable out of the air?
parsnip.
No, I'm afraid that one was asparagus.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's
If you can smell it when you go for a piss in half an hour, you'll know where it was. And he's now drinking the asparagus out of an Orla Keeley mug.
Oh what? An Orla who?
Orla Keeley mug.
Oh right, who's she?
She makes mugs.
Books.
Mugs. No, she's a pattern designer. You get curtains and household.
Well, we
shit.
had 4 of these, and this is why Karen goes fucking mental every time I break one.
Yeah, they're a bit designery, them.
Yeah, this is the last survivor. This.
Hey, we're down to 2. Orange.
Orange. Oh, that's this one. Yeah, this is the one that looks like.
Yeah, what's it look like? What's the nose on it? The appearance and the smell.
The appearance is of a chicken and mushroom pot noodle.
Ah.
Oh, the smell's something a bit more spicy though.
Taking you to the exotics with this
Well,
one.
there's something curry. There's a curry smell in there. It's taking me to the Punjab.
It kind of isn't.
Yeah. I'm going to taste it.
Go on.
Oh,
Yeah.
now to me that's coriander.
Could well be coriander. It fits with what I've got here on the piece of paper.
Yeah. It's vegetable. Oh, hang on. It's not Thai, is it?
Ooh.
If it is Thai, it's got quite weak flavours in. But I'm not sure if that's lemongrass in there as well.
This is good stuff. Are there any lumps or chunks in there that you can see?
Oh, it's full of noodles, and it looks like is it pad chai? You know, like that the Chinese like big lettuce or celery. No, not Chinese.
I can't imagine it's got that in it. It's in a fucking cup of soup, a head of lettuce.
I think it's got a whole pak chai. It's not even pak chai. I think it's more maybe Thai, but it's definitely got. It's not.
I'm going to give you half again.
Go on then.
Thai chili chicken.
Ah, so I was right with the Thai. Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, if only I hadn't stopped you saying chicken.
I know. Yeah, you put me off there. Well, I thought I was under like an embargo to not say chicken. Yeah, that one's all right.
Well done. One left. No need to spin the wheel. It's blue.
Now this is the one that I've been avoiding for quite a while. It looks like.
Is it a reddy colour?
Yeah, it looks like a harassed.
This is the one that gave me very bad wind.
Yeah, I can imagine.
I wouldn't do more than one of these if anyone's thinking about going out and getting some.
It looks very rich. It's a really deep red blood colour. It looks like a Bloody Mary cocktail, to be honest, with bits floating in it. I'm going to smell it.
What's it smell like?
It smells spicy. I reckon.
Go on, have a taste then. I can tell you can't wait.
Spicy tomato soup with chilies in.
No.
It tastes like it's had tomato sauce dumped in it.
Again, I'm going to give you half for this because you got spicy. And when I had the 2 of them, I thought, he's never going to fucking get this because it just tastes like tomato. It's hot and sour soup.
Oh.
But it's not though, is it?
Yeah.
They lie.
It's not nice.
Right, I decided if you got half of these right, I was going to call it a win. So we've got half and half. And Thai chili chicken, I gave you half. So you've got 3.5 out of 6, which means you've won.
Result.
You've won, and you've won yourself a prize.
Brilliant. Is it this broccoli and cheese soup?
Yeah, as we speak, there's a vat of it winging its way to you.
Brilliant.
No, I shall get on to Ainsley's people and we'll sort you out with a prize, and you can look out for that in the post, something to look forward to.
I think you could easily overdo it on that broccoli and Stilton. You know, like one mug should suffice. You can't go in for any. You can't go for a second one in the same day.
Yeah,
I don't think.
well, I've never done 2 in an hour before, and I would recommend to anyone that just do the one and fill it with bread.
So why did you do 2 in an hour? Which one did you have 2? The hot one, the hot and sour.
Hot and sour one.
What?
I went to bed.
Why would you have one of them? What would make you have a second one of them within an hour? I think
I'd gone through, because I've been eating the other ones. Apart from the ones I sent you, you get between 4 and 6 to a box. I've sent you 1 from each box, and the other ones I've just been eating during the day. And I think I'd run out of bread, and I was looking for things to dip in, and I thought, well, rather than dip anything in, I'll just have 2 soups. And I went to bed at the end of the night, and I think I farted on every step as I went up the stairs.
Yeah, you'd overdone
like
it.
A fucking machine gun going off.
Classic. Schoolboy error.
So that was this week's quiz.
Yummy. Thank you very much.
Right. The first part of the show, where we were talking about things that we've both watched, we're going to do a thing later on, second part, where we each talk about a couple of things that one of us has watched but the other one hasn't. So I think Ben's going to go first with his.
So it's a film that's been made from a series on Netflix called The Last Kingdom. There were 4 seasons of it. A very popular show on Netflix. It came out, I remember started watching it during one of the lockdowns and got completely and utterly obsessed with it. It's the main character, Uhtred, son of Uhtred, father of Uhtred, is a fictional character. That's a joke that comes up a lot, actually. He says that a lot. But there are bits of comedy.
They're like that, the Uhtred's.
They're always banging on about themselves. So he's a fictional character. He's a Viking that was a Saxon that was brought up in a Viking family. And it's about the Viking invasions of England. But England, as it was made up of 7 separate kingdoms at the time. And the last kingdom was Wessex. And the Vikings forced the Saxons all the way down into Wessex. And that's where Alfred the Great started the great fight back to reclaim the country from the Vikings. So you've got a very historical element. You've got actual battles that took place. The Viking characters are steeped in history, and so are the ones on the Saxon side. Like I say, the only fictional character is Uhtred, and we know that these things took place in the 900s because Alfred the Great wrote something called the Saxon Chronicles, where he detailed everything that was happening at the time, the battles, the meetings, the characters, the kings of East Anglia, Mercia, Northumberland, and things like that. And so if you're interested in history and a little bit obsessed by history of that period, it's just brilliant. You know, there's another show called Vikings that was very popular, and that took the same course.
Yeah, we watched Vikings. Well, Karen watched it all. I think I did about 3 seasons before I thought it went.
Yeah, I did about 2 with Vikings, but I found the Vikings, it seemed a bit... It relied heavily on Ragnar Lothbrok's the main character, whereas I'm not sure whereabouts he disappears, but Uhtred sort of carries the whole of the Last Kingdom. You follow him all the way through, and other characters come and go.
Yeah.
But just, you know, it's always... Uhtred seems to flick sides constantly between Vikings and Saxons, and it's this constant sort of battle of wits between the 2 camps, and there's lots of underhand deals and backstabbing and trickery, but it was enough to keep me going, absorbed totally all the way through 4 seasons, and then I've watched this sort of spin-off film, which pretty much follows. It sort of wraps things up nicely. It follows what's happened in the series, and again, like I say, you're following Uhtred, and he's torn apart between these 2 sort of great enemies. But yeah, just if you're interested in history, and it name checks the strategic cities and towns of England at the time. I'm from a town in Staffordshire called Tamworth, which features, because at one point it was the ancient capital of Mercia, which was one of the big kingdoms. But even if you're not into history either, you know, it's just a good watch, and it there is some humour, and it has dark moments, but it has light moments, and it just seemed to just be a bit more sort of colourful and a bit more diverse than the Viking series as well. Because you were dealing a lot with the Welsh and the Irish and the Scots, and a bit of France and stuff as well. It's always difficult.
I'm sure we might have watched one, but I mean, it sounds like something we should probably go back to.
Yeah, I think it's always difficult. Like. We've had this conversation before. When someone recommends something and you think, well, okay, and then you look and see how many seasons there are. Well, so if I'm going to get wrapped up in this, I'm going to end up investing a huge amount of time towards it.
That puts you off, but it appeals to us because we think, yes, we could watch 5 of them a night.
Well, I suppose with The Last Kingdom, there's only four seasons in that respect. Yeah, I love it. I'm really interested in history. I'm probably more drawn to things that are factually based rather than fiction. I don't know why. I do have trouble sometimes watching things that I don't believe. I know that haven't happened. Whereas things that are based around real events, I'm drawn to a little bit more.
Yeah.
Even though a lot of the truth's embellished and so on, But yeah, just fantastic. Not huge budget either, I'd say, on The Lost Kingdom. So it makes some of the fight scenes more real because they have to rely on actual real acting rather than CGI. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So a bit like some of the scenes in Braveheart, they were quite sort of uncomfortably close and the blood spattering up the camera and things like that. Rather than, say, the fight scenes in Lord of the Rings or something like that where it's...
Oh, yeah, with 50 million computer-generated orcs and stuff, yeah.
Yeah,
sounds good.
Yeah, you get a bigger sense of reality with it, yeah. But I love it. I definitely recommend it.
Oh, we'll give it a go. What's it on, Last Kingdom? Is it Netflix?
Oh, it's on Netflix, yeah. Yeah. One of the main characters is a woman called Ethelfleda, she became actually queen of one of the kingdoms at the time. So to have a woman in charge of an entire kingdom of Mercia in the 900s was just mind-blowing as well. So
yeah,
that was all. It wasn't, just to make a point that it's not a totally male-dominated series.
Cool. Right, so the last one we're going to talk about is another one that's on HBO. Again, we watched it on NowTV, but that's, for most people, that's going to mean Sky, and it's a comedy drama called Somebody Somewhere. Which is, there's an American actress, I think she's American or Canadian, called Bridget Everett, and she's an actress, a stand-up comedian, singer, cabaret artist, and she plays a character called Sam, who's gone back to her family's town in Kansas because her sister's very ill. And she spends the last year of her life with her sister. By the time we start the show, she's just recently lost her sister. It's 6 months after the sister's died. So it's a bit raw in everyone's head, and she's got a job, but she's kind of stuck in this town that she's come back to reconnect with her family. And she just feels, not even at a crossroads, just that life's going nowhere and she's stuck in the middle of this town. Her mother, it turns out, has been secretly on the piss for donkey's years and has become a full-blown alcoholic right under everybody's noses. Her dad's getting on in years. He's got a farm, typical old Kansas farmer. He's struggling with the workload and, everyone's worrying about the older people in the family. There's no social life in this town. She befriends this guy at work called Joel, who's he's a gay guy, and they're talking about music, and she mentions that she used to do a lot of singing. She loved singing when she was younger. And Joel says, well, why don't you come to choir practice? And, she says, oh, I'm not religious, it's not for me. But eventually he persuades her. She turns up at this church at night and enters, and it's not quite what she was expecting. It's a load of people who you would probably describe as alternative, maybe. In the reviews, they call them misfits, but I don't think that's particularly kind. Sort of people who, if it was a city, there would be scenes for them. Different types of people, you would have a scene, and you would have quite an exciting life, but in this world, in Somebody Somewhere, there's just this group of people who get together once a week, under the premise that it's choir practice, and they just all get pissed and do cabaret shows and play music, and it's just where all the kind of outsiders meet up. And she gets this little, this kind of second family, really, who seem to get her. And as best friends, Sam and Joel, they're not. Do you remember Will and Grace?
Yeah.
Gay guy, straight woman, sharing a place together, being best friends, but, both very good looking. Everyone in the entire show was very good looking. Sam, isn't your kind of type of character that you would normally get in a rom-com or anything. Joel isn't either. But the two of them together is just absolutely lightning in a bottle. It's fucking brilliant. And it's just so warm. It's another one, you don't laugh out loud all the time, but there are really, really funny bits. But it's just so genuine as they kind of go on to try and sort of navigate life in this shitty little town together. It's absolutely brilliant.
I watched the...
I sent you the trailer, didn't I?
Yeah, the trailer you sent me. Yeah. It looked she looked quite funny. She wasn't quite the same, but she reminded me a little bit of Melissa McCarthy, is it?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Just a little bit, just in the way, like her line delivery and something, and like her humour and stuff.
If it was a European thing and America got hold of it and did a remake, they would probably get Melissa McCarthy to do it. You're right.
yeah. But just that trailer you sent me, some of that bit was funny, and when she comes out onto a porch and stuff,
Oh, there's loads of stuff like that. I mean, doesn't give a fuck.
What channel's that on?
It's on HBO, which is Sky, but you can get it on NowTV. I think you can
get that on Now. You can get that through.
I think on NowTV you can get like vouchers that give you just a month of it or something. You just pay 10 or 20 quid or something. But if you wait until there's a couple of things worth watching, it's worth paying a few quid for. But it's terrific. It's just the relationships in it are so genuine.
Yeah.
I don't know if they knew each other prior to this, like we were saying, Colin From Accounts.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me at all, because you feel like they've known each other all their lives. Yeah, brilliant. Somebody
Definitely.
somewhere.
Watch that.
So now on to what might become a regular section called Ben's Extension.
I forgot about that.
Ben is a stonemason. We went to college years ago doing landscaping, and Ben went on to be a stonemason and has recently been building his own extension on the back of his house. Tell everyone what you put on that big stone, that your motivation stone, and why.
Oh, yeah, well, the house that I moved into needed a lot of work doing, and I was a bit dubious about having a go at building an extension, but I wrote on a slab at the back, "You've built a castle," because I worked on Warwick Castle for a year, and I thought if I can work on a castle rebuilding a large section, I should be able to do a small 5 by 3 metre 1-storey extension at the back of my house. Do you know what I mean? So...
It's still mind-boggling to me, but fair play. So tell us how it's going.
Oh, it's going well. I had to dig all the footing. I've done everything myself. You have to put the base down and put the walls up, and so yeah, we're halfway through, I'd say, at the moment. But one aspect of the work I had to do this week was to remove an internal wall inside the actual house, so you can walk through from a kitchen to a back room and then into this new extension. So I had to take out a wall and insert a steel beam which would hold up the floor above. So RSJ. So my wife said to me, "Are you sure you know what you're doing?" I was like, "Well, I'm propped up walls and stuff at work in churches and so on, so I'm sure." So I had to prop the ceiling above to take the wall out to then put a steel beam in, which I've done successfully. But when I went into the bathroom, and I tend to come out the shower and stretch, And as I stretch, I'm 6'2". My fingertips can touch the ceiling. Now, since I removed the wall downstairs and put the beam in, I can no longer touch the ceiling, which makes me think that the bathroom floor may have dropped a little during this structural work that I've done. Perhaps only about 5 millimeters, but enough anyway. But
yeah, just put loads of carpets down. Carol will never know.
Yeah, well, I've said to Karen. She says, "How did it go?" I said, "Well, we've got some more headroom in the bathroom now, in case you were wondering." Ow! And then when I was lying in bed the other night, opposite, because our bedroom's directly this wall that I've removed. It sort of comes in the middle of our bedroom and the bathroom, so I've got a bit more headroom in the bathroom. I'm lying in bed, and at the end of the bed is some like wardrobes that I've built and put in myself. And I noticed that some of the wardrobe doors in the middle had dropped as well. So that was another small scale sign to me that, you know, I've obviously caught the ceiling underneath with this steel, but I may have, you know, it may have dropped a little bit before I put the beam in.
Just got images of eventually the place collapsing and you flying down the street in a bath.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking hell. Rather you than me.
Yeah, so next time I'll be trying to put the rubber roof on, which I've got all the stuff for, and I've got a huge industrial style vat of Acme glue, so I'm sure I'm going to have fun with that.
Yeah. Tamworth man glues himself to house.
Yeah, I've got a funny feeling that might happen, because you literally have to glue this rubber roof down. So, it's going to be a challenge anyway, but we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, we'll catch up with that next time and see what sort of height the ceilings are at then. Doing the next podcast from the cellar.
Sound, good stuff.
Right, well, that's brilliant. That's been good to have a catch up. I hope everybody's enjoyed it. If you have, we'll do it again, definitely.
Yeah, and I'm going to go now and try and finish off these cold, half-drunk cups of Cupasoup of varying different tastes.
Actually, that could be a listener's quiz. How many Cupasoups before Ben shits his pants? If you pop your answer on an email, send it to Pop Goes the Benjamin at Reclining Pear.
Yeah, I think my underpants would be in tatters by the end of that. Baffle the world of forensic science.
Anyway, on that note,
cheers.
I'll see you next time. All right, ta-ra.